Los Angeles Lakers. They also they avoid the broom. They avoid the broom this time. They get that one win against the Nuggets. But they also did not particularly play well against the Denver Nuggets in the playoffs, particularly against Mr. Jamal Murray, who is now a top 5 point guard in the regular season. But when that clock switched over to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, we saw it last year. We saw it in the bubble. Jamal Murray, he about it once it's playoff time. Um, so yeah, LeBron James is now a unrestricted free agent, meaning that he can sign wherever he wants to sign. I know there was like a rumor from Woj as she making the gesture towards being a Miami Heat. We'll see about that. But yeah, LeBron's a free agent. But Woj said that they expect him to sign, quote unquote, a 2 to 3 year deal. I mean, sure, maybe. But that will require the Lakers to sign or sign, draft, however, Bronny James, which to me, that's a dumb thing. But I mean, at the same time, the Lakers want to keep LeBron. So do what you got to do to keep LeBron. But it goes back to my point where LeBron James hamstrings is, or keeping the Lakers hamstrung, or Darvin hamstrung, as I called it on Twitter, hamstrung to LeBron James. Yeah, Darvin hamstrung. They're stuck with LeBron, man. And so AD has been signed. He signed. The role players are okay. Austin Reeves, I'm sorry, Chidi, you had him in top 10 for shooting guards this season. Yeah, he got played off the court according to Darvin Ham. So along with D'Angelo Russell, who, by the way, let me get into that quote from Darvin Ham. So Darvin Ham, well, you know how it is when it's time to fire a coach. Everybody want to enter the clip and just say what's on their mind about whatever's going on. So
Ham with Ham.
Ham, yeah.
Ham with Ham. So, okay.
Dave McMenamin's article from ESPN. He says, Darvin Ham says, it's been extremely challenging. Has been in and out of the lineup, being criticized for not having consistent rotation when I don't have consistently healthy bodies. The thing that frustrates me, and I love this job, I love the pressure that comes with it. I've always been calm in the midst of the chaos, but common sense tends to go out the window when you talk about my job in particular. It's amazing how people just skip that core part of having consistency with your lineup. It's all predicated on health and performance. If you're coaching a team and one of your starters is like 10 games in a row, just shit in the bed, what are you going to do? So that was directed at, in most people's opinion, D'Angelo Russell, who, by the way, had a decent year. But when he gets to that press conference, he be saying some crazy shit sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, Darvin Ham is more than likely gonna be fired, I guess, maybe. But that would mean that if LeBron comes back, that they're gonna be on their fourth, fifth coach since LeBron's got there a couple years ago. So that part is kind of like, for me as a former Lakers fan, because I ain't a Lakers fan no more. That's what's frustrating about that's what's frustrating about LeBron, man. LeBron, he brings a different vibe to your team, which was cool back in the day. But as you get older and you're more limited as a player, it's like, I don't want to deal with that mess anymore, especially because I know that you're only going to be here for a short period of time. So my question is, what do y'all think is wrong with the Lakers? Is it LeBron? Is it the GM? Is it roster construction? Like, what do y'all think? Because I think it's LeBron James. I think LeBron he's an amazing player. But if I'm the Lakers, and I know it's the Lakers because I've been a Lakers fan before, they want to be great immediately. But the Lakers are not a bad drafting team. This is the same Lakers that drafted, Caruso, who played well. They drafted Julius Randle, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, all these Josh Hart. Like, they've drafted great players historically. They just traded them away before they can actually be successful for their team. But what do y'all think? What's wrong with the Lakers?
I think for me, the Lakers, just LeBron overall, he works better with a guard than a forward. So, of course, over the last couple of years, the main focal point has been to, get Anthony Davis the ball, let him be the number one option. And AD took up that role over this year, and it was great to see. But at the same time, I think it took LeBron to adjust to because he's used to being number one. And if you also think about the Cavs, he had Kyrie. You think about the Heat, he had Dwayne Wade. When you think about the time he won the bubble ring, the ring in the bubble, he had Rondo. I mean, and Rondo's IQ in itself is Hall of Fame. So you don't have any, not even a top tier IQ point guards on that team. I told you about Spencer Dinwiddie. He slowed the hell out. He talking about
Hey,
he want to come back
I'm
to
gonna
the
give you
team.
kudos for that because Dinwiddie was
Come on,
trash.
bro.
He was
Like,
trash for forever.
so you got that, and then you got D'Angelo Russell, who's inconsistent. But again, we can never say that Dwayne Wade was inconsistent, wasn't a dog, wasn't a killer. You know what I'm saying? We can't say a damn sure can't say that about Kyrie Irving either. But as far as his Lakers go, you're gonna have if LeBron's gonna come back, I think you're gonna have some like kind of dynamic guard. Like that's why they should have threw everything they could to get DeJounte Murray. I think that would have helped them way more than D'Lo shouldn't have been, as Ham said it. So wherever LeBron go, if it's not with the Lakers, I guarantee you their guard would be their best player on the team. I can guarantee that. Which with the Warriors, that make a lot of sense, but I'm not sure if that the world is ready for that media narrative. But again, wherever LeBron go, it's gonna have a dynamic guard money. That's what he needs. That's what he's had to be successful. And because the Lakers ain't been able to get that, here we are again.
I am appalled by the comments by Darvin Ham from a coaching perspective. And one of the biggest parts about that is you have someone that's been in the slump for like 10 games, right? Or not playing well, whatever you want to say. So what are you as a coach? What are you doing during practice or in between games to help or motivate your player to get him to a better spot? These are professional men. It shouldn't be 10 games. And one of the games, well, I'm not saying it include this one, but in a playoff game, that man was 0 for 7, not in the huddle towards the end of the game. That's not about how bad he's playing. That's about how much he does not respect you. And I'm sure it's not just him, right? And let me also say this. I hope Grizzly fans can hear me loud and clear. I didn't hear Taylor Jenkins mad about the lineups that he had to go through during the season and still putting together something. I didn't hear Eric Spoelstra, who went through a lot of different ups and downs because I'm a Heat fan. So Tyler Hero was out. Jimmy Butler was out. Bam. Like we've had players out all season. We've had a lot of different multiple lineups, even pulling guys from our G League team to play. Eric Spoelstra's not making excuses. I'll even go as far as this. I didn't hear Glenn Rivers make excuses about Damian Lillard and Giannis being out. So you want to talk about a player not playing for you, and it's not even really a star player that well, save it. The only thing you really need to do, Darvin Ham, was sub in players at certain times. That's really all you had to do. Let LeBron coach. Let Phil Handy coach. Let anyone else coach, and you stand there with your hands in your pockets as if you are already defeated before you step on the floor, which usually is the case all the time. So with that being said, I want to retort what everyone has said for a second and say this. The Lakers played the best that they can with the coach they have against the Nuggets 2 years in a row. That's it. Do not expect them. We cannot expect them to be better because they're not led by an individual who thinks he can do better and shows that he can do better. So with that said, the first thing that needs to go before we talk about the Lakers' outlook season is the coach. And I know, yeah, we said not you all, but LeBron wanted him. I don't care what LeBron wanted. I really don't care. Whatever is best for the Lakers organization is best for the Lakers organization. But if we can fire guys, I don't know, having a winning record, number 2 in the East during the regular season, if guys can get fired after 8 games to start the season, then why does this man still have a job? It's the lure of LA. Like, there's so much pressure to be a Lakers coach that if you ain't got it going, you need to go. Period. Why I think Frank Vogel had to go.
That's a bar. Go ahead.
Go ask y'all something real quick. If y'all are D'Angelo Russell, do you pick up your $18.5 million player option and do this one more time?
You pick up the player option because you're not sure what people are going to offer you your market value.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you use that as your trading piece. I think that's what he's been trying to say, D'Angelo. Go ahead.
I agree with that. Yeah, you never turn down the money, especially when you're not going to get paid more than what that is. Like D'Angelo Russell, that's about right for D'Angelo Russell, in my opinion. Like, get $15 million. He's a serviceable starting point guard. Well, I say point guard / off ball guard. He's not really. I don't want him running my show, but he can score if you allow him to do his thing. But you brought up a great point too. With LeBron playing well with guards, and I think so. At the beginning of our show, I talked about the best big three since LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. What made that big three great, and this goes for the Suns and the Lakers both, is that at some point there has to be communication amongst your stars as to what's the pecking order, one, and then two, what can I do as a member of this big three to make sure that we are successful? When it was Miami, and Shitty could probably vouch for this, when it was Miami, Dwayne Wade told LeBron, like, hey, you got to be the guy. You got the best player on this team. And we saw arguably the best version of LeBron James when the Heat won those 2 titles in the middle of LeBron's 4-year tenure with Miami. But it wasn't just that, though. Chris Bosh was a on-the-ball scorer in Toronto. At one point, he was considered an MVP candidate. That last year with Toronto, he was killing. Like Chris Bosh with the dreads was killing. But when he got to Miami, they told him, hey, man, if we're going to win championships, you got to be a stretch big. Chris Bosh became a stretch big for them. He became an elite defender as well, too. And his scoring dipped all the way down. But what happened? The team won 2 NBA finals, went to 4 in a row. And even after that, Miami broke him off, before he had that blood clot issue leg. They broke him off and made him the highest paid player on the team. So for like the Lakers, they got to figure out, one, what players work best around LeBron James. And AD, it was good for that 1 year, but these other years, man, it hasn't looked good. And I think LA wanted AD to be that guy, and he's honestly not somebody that you can build a team around as a primary option. And so to your point, too, I think it is probably smart for them to figure out, like, if we're going to keep LeBron, how can we make sure that we are in a winning position? We need somebody that can play defense on the perimeter, somebody that can be an elite scorer like Kyrie. Well, I can't say like Kyrie because Kyrie's a different level of scoring, but somebody of that mold to where you're keeping the defense honest while also, at least being serviceable on the other end. Russell's not a defender on the other end, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't guarding no. So if the Lakers are going to keep LeBron James and maybe Anthony Davis, they got to figure out how to provide balance, and then also accept the fact that AD's my guy. Accept the fact that AD is not going to be that guy, the primary guy, once LeBron retires. They're gonna have to figure that one out. But you talking about firing the coach? Is Phil Handy the only option? Because there ain't no other options out there. I mean, I guess Ty Lue decided to step down from the Clippers, but like, who's the other option for the Lakers to be a coach? LeBron?
Player coach.
Yeah, go get him, Rondo, Brandon Roy. Yeah, I'm naming names of players. I don't
look, JJ Redick doing interviews.
Hey, they got a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
They got a podcast.
Hey, real quick, one more question, and it is a dumb question, but it is a question I need to ask real quick. Should LeBron James look for a max contract? Dumb question, I know, but in order with this second apron and third apron, all that BS that's about to come down, it's gonna hinder, which has been a hindrance for the Lakers as well. And we talked about the Heat. The big word was sacrifice. They all took pay cuts. Mm-hmm. So again, should LeBron? It's a dumb question, but it's a question that needs to be asked. Which I think, real quick,
it's not a dumb question. LeBron is a player that doesn't need money from the NBA. He has so many other endorsements. So legitimately, whatever he doesn't make in the league per that season, whether it's 5-10 million per year added, he'll make up for that easily. And if he wants to contend, again, I think the Nuggets, I've said this on the show before, the Nuggets have the formula. You're only going to pay Joker the max money for all the players. Jamal Murray's never going to make that max money that he should make because he's not making the All-NBA teams. He's not making the All-Star games. Whereas Anthony Davis is making these teams and is going to command more on his contract. And if I'm excuse me, I know I'm deflecting from the question, but if I'm Anthony Davis, with the injuries that I've had, how old I am, and my legs, I'm taking the max immediately when they offer it to me. When they do. So again, to answer your question, LeBron should not go and get the max that he needs or he thinks he rightfully deserves. And he does, let's be honest. But if he wants to be a champion, if he wants to be a contender, then he must follow copycat league. Follow what the Nuggets have done.
And the good thing about the Lakers with LeBron is that LeBron's max value is going to drop every year because of his age. Like, so there's a certain amount of money you can give a 39, 40-year-old player. And it's like, it's not as you think it is. So he won't be the highest paid player in the league, even though he probably deserves it. But that value is going to be low. So it's kind of by default that it'll be low, but it's still a max contract based on the fact that, I mean, it's LeBron James. We're going to give him the most amount of money that we can give him based on the CBA. AD is getting like what 63, something crazy like that, which is insane. So yeah, they'll be okay, but the roster it's the roster mixed with the coach. But at the same time, it's like you don't have 5 coaches, man. At some point, it's you, LeBron. At some point, it's you.